Hello MotoGP fans, welcome back to ZNGP today. In the intense world of MotoGP, few riders generate as much intrigue and admiration as Marc Márquez. And now, his own technical director Marco Rigamonti has offered a rare look behind the curtain. Speaking at the Aragon GP, Rigamonti revealed both the genius and limitations of working with an 8-time world champion. As the 2025 season progresses, the engineer paints a picture of a rider who is not only ferocious on track, but also deeply involved in the development process. If anyone still had doubts about Ducati's form in 2025, Aragon served up the perfect response. With 3 red bikes on the podium on Sunday and an unstoppable Marc Márquez leading the charge, the energy inside Ducati Corse was anything but anxious. A new episode of Inside, Ducati's behind-the-scenes YouTube series, revealed not just the strategy, but also the spirit that fueled this dominant weekend, and some signature Marquez flair that stole the spotlight once again. After years of relying on an inline 4-cylinder philosophy, Yamaha is finally preparing to break tradition. During this week's private test in Barcelona, the Japanese manufacturer is rolling out a radical shift in design, a completely new V4-powered M1 prototype, in a bid to catch up with its European rivals. Test duties will be handled by Augusto Fernandez, marking a pivotal moment for the Iwata brand and possibly for its 2026 future. Toprak Razgatlioglu's long-awaited leap into MotoGP has finally been confirmed, and it's with the Pramac Yamaha team in 2026. While the move was welcomed with excitement across the paddock, not everyone agrees it's the perfect fit. Among those offering a different perspective is 3-time MotoGP champion Jorge Lorenzo, who believes Toprak's aggressive style might have been better suited elsewhere. Don't forget to click subscribe button and the bell icon for MotoGP news update. Marco Rigamonti has seen many elite riders come and go, from Alex Espargaro to Nia Bastianini. But working with Marc Márquez, he says, is a class apart. The biggest difference? Márquez doesn't just ride hard, he understands the bike. That mental acuity translates directly into technical development and setup. You're dealing with someone who not only rides like a beast, but also understands. Marco Rigamonti's statement. Márquez's value to Ducati isn't just his speed, it's his brain. He bridges the gap between instinct and analysis, giving engineers exactly what they need to evolve the bike. One of Márquez's long-standing strengths has always been his corner entry, particularly on left-handers, a legacy of his dirt track training and aggressive lean angles. Rigamonti confirms that this is where Marc continues to make the difference, even aboard the formidable Desmercedes-I. On entry and especially in left-hand corners. But it's hard to say exactly what the bike does to make that difference. Even Ducati's top minds can't fully quantify it. Márquez's technique remains part science, part mystery. But even legends have weaknesses. For Márquez, the Achilles heel remains right-hand corners, a limitation amplified by the aftermath of his serious arm injury. Rigamonti admits that it's the one area where the number 93 still loses time. If he made right turns like he does left turns, he'd be unbeatable. In a sport measured by tenths, even the smallest deficit can separate domination from contention. For now, it's the only crack in an otherwise indomitable armor. Despite his titles and reputation, Márquez defies the stereotype of the high-maintenance superstar. Rigamonti expected to meet a robotic perfectionist. Instead, he found a teammate. Trust, laughter, and honesty, these, he says, are the real foundations of their success. You expect a VIP rider. But you're wrong. He also likes to laugh and joke. We enjoy working with him from a human perspective. The magic of Márquez doesn't stop with the stopwatch. It's also in his character. Marc Márquez continues to push the limits of what's possible in MotoGP, both on the bike and in the garage. With Marco Rigamonti by his side, the Ducati garage has become not just a war room, but a workshop of mutual respect, learning, and even fun. And while the right-hand corners still haunt him, one thing is clear: if Marquez finds that missing piece, the rest of the grid will be playing catch-up again. The episode opens on Thursday, before engines even started, with Marc Márquez walking into the team meeting already armed with his own research. The number 93 showed engineers a heat map he'd created to study front tire overheating, prompting some laughter in the room, but also a nod to his growing role as both rider and analyst. "I've done a study on the front tires overheating. I don't know if it's correct or not, but it's true," Marquez's statement. It's classic Marquez, equal parts performance and preparation. His technical curiosity is as relentless as his rasakraf. While Marquez brought heat maps, Pecco Bagnaia took to the track for a walking inspection and later worked closely with his team on brake feel and corner entry. The former champion, who had struggled with confidence earlier this season, looked more at ease in Aragon. Bagnaia's return to form didn't come overnight. It came through Friday's sweat, subtle adjustments, and the return of trust in the bike underneath him. The episode didn't just focus on data and tire talk. In one heartwarming moment, the Marquez brothers shared a laugh over their mother Rosa, who swapped her Gresini gear for a Ducati Lenovo jersey on Saturday. "In the morning she was Gresini, but she saw the red one was faster. She supports both brothers because we're leaving behind some great moments." The familial bond added an extra dimension to the Ducati garage. Rivalry, yes, but rooted in deep support and shared pride. Marc Márquez took pole on Saturday and stormed to victory in the sprint. Bagnaia salvaged 4th in qualifying and 12th in the sprint, but come Sunday, the tide turned. With Marc winning again and Pecco landing 3rd, Ducati Lenovo celebrated a double podium, and a team that's clicking at just the right time. "The Ducati was in crisis, wasn't it?" Marc Márquez joking. It was a statement meant in jest, but it underscored a sharp turnaround, not just for Pecco, but for a team once criticized for internal tensions and inconsistencies. The Aragon GP showed us more than just lap times. It revealed the Ducati team united in spirit, driven by passion, and powered by two elite riders who are increasingly feeding off each other. Marquez's growing influence within the garage, both technically and emotionally, marks a new chapter. If there ever was a crisis, it seems Marc just solved it, one victory, and one smile at a time. For decades, Yamaha's inline-4 architecture defined its MotoGP DNA. But with Ducati, KTM, Aprilia, and Honda all committed to V4 configurations, and Suzuki no longer in the game, Yamaha found itself outnumbered and, more importantly, outpaced. On Wednesday there will be a new bike to test, a completely new bike. You know what it is. Augusto Fernandez speak to motorsport.com. The test, shrouded in secrecy until Fernandez confirmed it post-race at Aragon, is the clearest sign yet that Yamaha is pivoting. The V4 layout promises higher top speeds, better packaging for aerodynamics, and more responsive acceleration, all areas where the M1 has struggled. Yamaha's Barcelona test lineup includes names with deep MotoGP experience. Silvano Galbuzera and Andrea Dovizioso are spearheading development behind the scenes, while Fernandez handles riding duties. Satellite team riders Jack Miller and Miguel Oliveira are testing evolutions of the current inline-4 but remain close to the core V4 project. It's a bridge between eras, Yamaha refining its current engine while planting seeds for a V4 future. Their commitment to both fronts shows intent, but also pressure. The team is banking on this hybrid 2025 strategy to pay off by 2026. The Barcelona test, hosted by Ducati, also sees Michel Pirro, Ducati, and Pol Espargaro, KTM, in action. Pirro is refining aero updates for the GP25, while Espargaro works on RC16 components. Yamaha, meanwhile, is the only factory debuting an entirely new engine platform. Yamaha's move is high stakes. Ducati is refining a proven beast. KTM is sharpening its tools. Yamaha, however, is rolling the dice, trading the known for the necessary. And with no wildcard entry allowed due to concessions, testing becomes their only battleground for innovation. By 2026, Yamaha is expected to race with a full V4 package. Conveniently, that's also when Toprak Razgatlioglu joins the factory program via Pramac. The V4's aggressive performance profile might suit Toprak's heavy braking, all in style more than the traditional M1 ever could. If successful, this engine won't just revive Yamaha's competitiveness, it could be tailored to Toprak's unique strengths, creating a perfect synergy for his MotoGP debut. In Barcelona, Yamaha isn't just testing a new engine, it's testing its future. The V4 M1 may be in its infancy, but its symbolic weight is immense. With rivals already miles ahead in top speed and acceleration, Yamaha is finally closing the conceptual gap. Whether it's enough to return them to championship form is still unknown, but for now, one thing is clear: the age of Yamaha's inline 4 dominance is coming to an end. Jorge Lorenzo didn't wait long to weigh in on the announcement. In an Instagram story reaction to the official post, the former champion praised the signing, but also suggested that Toprak's natural instincts might have found a more compatible home with Ducati or Honda. Although I believe his riding style would be better suited to a Ducati or even a Honda, I'm confident that with patience and time, Toprak will also succeed in MotoGP. Jorge Lorenzo's statement. Lorenzo's comments, though measured, echo a broader conversation in the paddock: how a unique rider like Toprak will translate into the complex and refined world of MotoGP machinery. Razgatlioglu's 2 World SBK titles, first with Yamaha in 2021 and more recently with BMW in 2024, were won on machines that allowed him to exploit his strengths: hard braking, late corner entry, and fearless commitment. While Yamaha's MotoGP bike emphasizes agility and corner speed, some wonder whether that will harness or hinder Toprak's high-energy style. Lorenzo's Ducati suggestion makes sense. Bologna's Desmas Setasai rewards heavy braking and strong exits. But with Pramac and Yamaha, Toprak will need to evolve, not just attack. What could work in Toprak's favor is timing. MotoGP is set to switch to Pirelli tires in 2027, the same manufacturer used in World SBK, and the very compound that Toprak has already mastered. This gives the Turk a potential edge once the transition begins, possibly shortening the learning curve after a season of adaptation in 2026. While the first year may be turbulent, 2027 could be where everything clicks. Yamaha might be playing the long game, betting on Toprak to peak just as MotoGP enters a new era. Despite the suggestion that other factories might have been a better technical match, Lorenzo remains respectful of Toprak's ability and the path he's chosen. His endorsement wasn't without caveats, but it's clear he sees a bright future for the Turkish star. His talent and braking ability are undeniable. Congratulations to Toprak, Pramac, and Yamaha on the agreement. It's a message that blends curiosity with confidence, and from someone who knows what it takes to succeed across different manufacturers, that carries weight. Toprak Razgatlioglu to Pramac Yamaha isn't just a signing, it's a statement. Yamaha is betting on raw, unfiltered racing instinct to break through the frontrunner wall. But questions remain: will the M1 let Toprak be Toprak? Will adaptation blunt or enhance his brilliance? Jorge Lorenzo has his doubts, but he, like the rest of us, will be watching closely as one of the most electrifying riders in recent memory finally enters MotoGP's main stage. Thanks for watching ZNGP today, and this is your MotoGP news update. And see you next time!